Now you're welcome back to Clarecastle here for the second half of the Clare Under-21A Hurling Championship semi-final. It's Kilmaley versus Inagh Kilnamona, and at the break Kilmaley leading by 2-8 to 13 points. Those goals coming from John Finucane and Cathal Darcy. Aidan McCarthy taking the most of the scoring burden for Inagh Kilnamona. 7 of their 13 points coming from the stick of the Clare Intercounty senior star. Almost ready to go for the second period. Just a point between the sides at the break. Fergie would be very, very surprised if there's much more than that in 30 minutes time.
Yeah, well, if we to go on what we saw in the first 30 minutes, Derek, this is going to go right down to the wire. I suppose both sides, like we said before they went in, both sides will be looking at advantage points where they can get advantage over the other team. So it's going to be awful enthralling second half, and let's hope we get the quality we saw in the first 30.
Absolutely, yeah. What a cracking game it was for those first couple of minutes, no doubt about that. 5 wides each as well in that opening period. No doubt about the scoring prowess of either team as we watch at the moment now. Éanna McMahon picking up this first attacking ball, standing right out on the sideline. He has caught that brilliantly. If it drops just over the left post, fed it right into the teeth of the breeze, just curled at the right minute over the top left hand corner of the post. First score for Kilmaley, they go 2 points clear. That was a classy score.
Classy score by Éanna McMahon, and again the start you'd like to get, but Aidan McCarthy now is probably going to respond. Great catch and a fantastic score.
Well, we questioned would we have the same quality in the second period, and in the first 40 seconds we've had 2 scores of an absolute peach of a nature, as all you'd call it. McCarthy with a great catch and strike, his 8th point of the afternoon, and 3 of those coming from play. 4 frees and a 65 making up his tally here this afternoon, the combo captain. That ball breaking down into the paw of Daniel Walsh, trying to get Aidan Kennedy and moving in that corner, being well shepherded outside there by Colin Shannon, but he picks it up and scoops it forward. That ball now just playing down the throat outside of the man wearing 13, Peter Ronan, but that ball has been scooped up now again by the Inagh Kilnamona defence and swept clear by Owen Fitzgerald, playing it right in here to the centre, down the throat of that dangerous inside line. Meskel, Guyler and Hegarty all capable of doing damage, but so too is this man Cathal Darcy. 1 goal and a point for him in the opening period, and the goal of real quality too. Plays a lovely little short stick pass, trying to angle that ball across into the direction of Peter Ronan. Good defensive work though inside by the Inagh Kilnamona men, going back there to try and pick it up to Mark Barry, or Keith White rather, is the man that picks it up now. It was the Padraig Devitt that followed it all the way back, and coming right down here in front of us, Sean Kennedy and Aidan McCarthy having a right old battle. The ball breaking in front of Éanna McMahon, now a point for him at the outset of this second period. Good tackle from McCarthy, big strong boy this guy, and now we start to see the Derby element come through. McCarthy, no doubt about it, a big strong unit, so too is the brother Jason. He was part of the team that won last year as well. It's all just getting a little bit heated. It's broken up as soon as it started, but I'll tell you one thing, Fergie, if I had a choice between the brick wall that's here beside me or Aidan McCarthy, I know where I'd be facing.
Yeah, fantastic tattle, and a few getting involved in the sideline now. That's the problem. I suppose a little bit of the problem with this is that when you've so many selectors and mentors and water carriers and jersey collectors and everybody is on the sideline, it can get hot tempered. But thank God, heads have cooled down. But Aidan McCarthy, good tattle on that occasion, put him out. But Kilmaley, you've got the sideline ball. But as you said, Derek, we got the start that we saw in the first half as well. 2 balls, 2 scores, 2 attacking scores. So the quality is going to stay with us, and we're in for a cracking game here.
2-9 to 14 points. Kilmaley leading as Cathal Darcy takes that line ball. We didn't get the cleanest connection on it as he looked for Tom O'Rourke inside there, but it's going to be Inagh Kilnamona coming away. There's a call for overcarrying, and Brian O'Loughlin and Kevin McNamara just clenching the fist down here in front of us. Every decision is going to be fought. That's the real heat of Championship, and it's going to be a chance now for Sean O'Loughlin just to put Kilmaley 3 points clear here at the start of the second period. Not an easy free by any stretch of the imagination. Whatever breeze is here, we can watch those flags down to our right hand side just blowing perhaps into his face. This one is going to have to swing left to right. He'll be hitting it in towards that left hand upright, no doubt about that. Here comes O'Loughlin, does that, cuts it into the breeze brilliantly. He's got a savage strike of a ball, there's no question or doubt about it. When Sean O'Loughlin stands over it, you'll be backing him every time. It's his 3rd point of the afternoon, his 2nd from a free, and that was far from easy.
Far from easy, but he's a sweet striker, Derek, as you've said. Every time he rises that ball from a free, or even he's striking off the hand, there isn't too much height in it, just enough height, to make sure there's accuracy in it. Too much height will allow that little bit of a breeze that's going across the field to take it. But again, the work ethic from Kilmaley there to turn over that ball and to invite the free on was very, very good. And it's something that I've admired probably since the game started from both sets of teams. Their discipline has been reasonably good, but their work ethic has been fantastic. And in fairness to Wayne King, he's letting the game flow as best as possible. There's probably only been 4 or 5 frees in the game, which throws in a good bit to the enjoyment of the game, that the game is flowing. So very good stuff to date.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose those two words, Fergie, we often call for from a referee's point of view, common sense, and there's no doubt Wayne is showing it here today. We'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes' time, but we'll stay with the play for the moment. There is Bradley Higgins and Aidan McCarthy go up for that, but it's Cathal Darcy comes away with it. We saw him with that lovely little flick in the first half. He won't get to do that just now because there's savage pressure being put on him, and Owen Layton gets that ball away now to Tom Barry. He got 2 points from play in that opening half. He's been fouled. Big unit, this young fella as well, and a gas character to boot. Really lit up their victory social there a couple of weeks ago, but he's created the chance for Aidan McCarthy. He's right on the 65 metre line. You'll be fancying him to pot this. It's just going to be tit for tat, Fergie. You know, this is going to be a case of you do this and I'll do that, and we'll see who comes out when the clock hits 62 or 3.
Yeah, and if it stays like that, the last 5 minutes are going to be nail-biting stuff. But look at again the work ethic of Inagh Kilnamona. 3 lads following Darcy back the field, overturning the ball, and then Tom Barry getting onto a brave ball, putting up his hand and creating the atmosphere for free. Now this isn't easy, but for Aidan McCarthy, quality player, he should be able to score this.
He certainly should. He's lifted it well. He's struck it well. Is the breeze going to tail it back inside that right hand upright? I know that you've got a bird's eye view of that free from our camera up top, and you'll have enjoyed that one, and so too will all the McCarthys as well. His personal tally hits double figures. 10 points for Aidan here in this game, and there's nobody that's going to call this result before that final whistle goes. McCarthy now from the 65 metre line plays that long, perhaps looking for the run inside of Keelan Guyler. Just didn't go to play at the moment. 2-10 at the moment to 15 points is how it stands. A single point lead for the Kilmaley men. 5 minutes gone here in the second half with Al Hayes, Skoda Motors and Innes, your commentary sponsors here this afternoon. Puck out to come inside in the Kilmaley goal from the man from Kilmehel, Ronan Canlon. Playing that one short down the far side of the field, and again just trying to get that inside line moving. Kennedy has been the focal point for so many of those Kilmaley attacks, and look at the way he's broken clear there. Why wouldn't he be the man you want to give the ball to? Kennedy now playing that crossfield ball. Maybe John Finucane just wasn't anticipating it as much as he should have been, and Jason Griffin is able to come across. He looks up and Layden is there with that red helmet, but a good block down outside there, and a hook as well by Tom O'Rourke, and it's picked up by Sean O'Loughlin, taking the ball into control, plays it back the field. He's got the option outside. It's going to be a big one coming in there from Sean Crowley. Crowley sweeps that across, and after all that hard work, the ball just goes to the right and wide. And sometimes, Fergie, you can feel energy start to drain, you know, when there's so much work going into creating a scoring chance and it goes to begging like that.
Yeah, it does, Derek, you know, and that's one thing I suppose we haven't mentioned is that, you know, with the last 10 minutes left, because teams are working so hard, they're working back the field, like what's the team with the biggest fitness levels that are going to see this out. But on that occasion, we just mentioned Sean Crowley probably hit that ball a little bit too high, you know, with that little bit of breeze going across the field, you know, a lower trajectory, and that he might have got a score out of it.
Great defending there from Cian McInerney, facing back into his own corner back position. Had to pick the ball up and be the man to bring it clear as well, and looks for his captain Aidan McCarthy. Takes the shoulder there from Sean O'Loughlin, shrugs him off and gets that ball moving to the inside line. Guyler is the target for it inside, but what a wonderful catch. That's brilliant defending there by the Kilmaley men, and now Crowley has a chance on the 65 metre line. Gives it outside here to Kennedy. He'll angle this one in towards the crossbar, but again, that's just now a bit of wastefulness that we haven't seen from Kilmaley throughout this championship so far. Those aimless balls from distance, Fergie, and you know, not just dropping them in, but giving Inagh Kilnamona a chance to restart again from the puck out.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen very few of them, and you know, so probably one person you like to have seen to get the ball, and that's Sean Kennedy in the wing back, because he's known to score from distance. And that occasion again, that little breeze coming across the goal, Derek, from right to left down the far up goal facing the club, was causing a little bit of problem, shooting problems anyway. But again, some great fielding in the air again, and some great work ethic from both sides, and in trawling.
That latest wide coming from the fullback Arden Maloney down along that far side. What a take again from Aidan McCarthy. There must be a magnet on this fella's paw that's linked to that sliotar, because every time it comes down on top of him it's just sticking, and he was fouled there as well. I don't think Sean Kennedy can have too many complaints about that one. McCarthy will get up, take the bit of water and stick it over. A rare talent, this fella.
Very, very good, and again the fielding was fantastic, and again I like the way, you know, Aidan McCarthy got Sean Kennedy isolated on his own outside here, very close to the sideline, and again good goalkeeping by Inagh Kilnamona. Goalkeeper knew that was the situation and placed it right down the throat of Aidan McCarthy, and I suppose Sean Kennedy had no choice but to pull him to the ground, otherwise he was gone inside.
Yeah, it's going to be a chance to level up the game now. It's 2-10 Kilmaley, 15 points Inagh Kilnamona just at the moment, and after watching McCarthy hit that last free, well, there'll be very few back against him doing it from a similar position here just at the moment. A point between the sides. McCarthy just taking his time at this one. He'll strike it with the Kithogue. Again, this one will have to go to the right hand post before tailing back over the black spot, I'd imagine. That's there over Ronan Canlon's head. That's exactly what he does. Look at the arc on that ball. A sweet strike from Aidan McCarthy. Sides level here in Clarecastle. There's never much between neighbours. 2-10 to 16 points. 9 minutes gone in the second half, and McCarthy is back on the ball again. McCarthy picking up that sharp hook out, trying to get inside Maloney. Referee playing the advantage. A shot coming in here. It's going to just scrape over the crossbar. It was David Meskel that took the ball there from Aidan McCarthy. Referee allowed the play to continue again. Common sense that we've asked for so often from officials. Well done, Wayne King. Well done, Aidan McCarthy. David Meskel with the finish. Inagh Kilnamona hit the front.
Yeah, good score, and bad puck out, I suppose, from Ronan Canlon that occasion. He was trying to pick out Bradley Higgins that had gone loose, bringing it over his head, and McCarthy was onto it like a flash. And again, great opportunity for a goal for Inagh Kilnamona, but they're in control of the game the last few minutes.
They certainly are, and there's another big shot coming in there from Owen Fitzgerald, but the umpire is going to wave the hands. That one goes wide. Perhaps a little bit of a rush of blood to the head there from Fitzgerald. When you've got the likes of Meskel and Geiler inside, maybe that's the better option. But Camden will have a chance now to stand up and strike this one down. 10 minutes gone second half. Inagh Kilnamona hit the front, 17 points to 2-10, and I make it that's the first time the champions have hit the front in this game. Al Hayes, Skoda Motors, your commentary sponsors here this afternoon, and we do thank Al and Damien and all the gang for their support of this online stream at the moment. Let's see Inagh Kilnamona now, as we mentioned, just sniffing blood, sniffing that perhaps that the opportunity is there. Darren Cullen though just kind of between the rock and the hard place there, in between Canlon and Geiler it came, and Canlon in fairness did very, very well indeed to give it to Bradley Higgins, who maybe didn't do as well. McCarthy nips in. It's going to create another scoring chance. It's going to be Geiler. It's going to be a point. It's all of their own making there from a Kilmaley defence point of view. Inagh Kilnamona lead by 2. That ball should have gone 90 yards down the field.
It should have from Bradley Higgins, and Bradley Higgins now has been deployed to mark Aidan McCarthy, and on that occasion, that ball should have been gone 90 yards down the field, as you said, Derek, and 2 bad mistakes by Kilmaley in the last 2 phases of play have allowed Inagh Kilnamona now take the lead at a very vital time.
Puck out again. We can see a very clear push at the back there. I don't think there can be any doubt whatsoever about that. Whether your camera is SD, HD or 4K, it's going to look exactly the same. It's going to be free for Inagh Kilnamona, right on his own 65 metre line for Aidan McCarthy. He's just putting the hands on the hips as he has been outstanding so far for his team here this afternoon. 11 points for him over the course of the whatever we've played, 45 or so minutes, including the injury time period, and who'd bet against him doing something similar? And if it drops short, you've got the likes of Meskel and Geiler and all them lads going around inside as well. Keane Shannon has been relatively quiet as well from his own point of view. What a talent he is, as we've seen, as I mentioned, that in Masters or the Junior Championship down in Kilnamona there before the Christmas. Let's watch Aidan McCarthy now on his own 65 metre line, maybe slightly to the left hand side of the goal. This one is heading right in. We shouldn't even have to ask the question to know has Aidan McCarthy potted that one over. Suddenly now there's a little bit of a gap starting to appear. 19 points Inagh Kilnamona, 2 goals and 10 to Kilmaley. 19 points Fergie's fair scoring.
It's fair scoring, Derek, and some fantastic scores, but just again, the balloon has busted a little bit here for Kilmaley. The energy that we saw, especially in the first half, and for the start, the first 5 minutes, second half, there's quietness gone in the sideline now as well. They're probably trying to break the momentum now a little bit. Of a player gone down the far side, they need to get a grip of things, especially around the midfield area and their half back line. The Inagh Kilnamona's half forward line now have really come into the game, and it's been a really, really thorny point for Kilmaley. But again, as we've seen in the first half, it's about Kilmaley now grasping the nettle now, getting the next score or two, keeping in touch, make sure they're in the distance going in the final 10 minutes to make sure they're still within striking distance of Inagh Kilnamona. Yeah,
13 minutes played in the second half, Fergie. They've only scored 2 points, which, from what we saw in the first half, is not Kilmaley-like, for want of a better term.
No, we've seen them getting off the mark both from the start of games and start of second half, where they've really, really started their style of play, dictated their pace, dictated the way the game is flowing. But, in fairness to Inagh Kilnamona, throughout the field now, they've got the grips with many issues they had in the first half, and I said at half time, Derek, it's the team that's going to come out and have assessed within the 10 minutes where they can hit the opposing team and punish them and cause them a little bit of pain, and Inagh Kilnamona have started to do that.
They certainly have, and they're doing it even further now at the moment, with Darren Cullen just sitting back there and cleverly waiting for the break to come and playing it into the path of Conor Hegarty. Just couldn't control it at the first time of asking, and it's going to be a line ball for Kilmaley over on that far side of the field. Decent crowd here too in Clarecastle, and we'll try and get you an update as well from that other under-21 B semi-final that was underway earlier on this afternoon. We already saw and told you about the fact that Newmarket overcame Wolfe Tones out in Tulla a little earlier on. It was Broadford in the ascendancy the last last we checked in that particular game. We'll let play develop. In the next break and play, we'll give you a little bit more news on that one. And O'Callaghan's Mills, as we mentioned, and Broadford looking to join Newmarket in that Clare Under-21B final. That's also on next weekend. Full time, it's Broadford who have come out on top there. Broadford 2-13, O'Callaghan's Mills 1-13. It'll be a Broadford versus Newmarket Clare Under-21B hurling final, and Crusheen Tubber already in the A. Inagh Kilnamona looking to defend their title. Tommy Barry fighting back, and great work rate, it has to be said, from the big number 12. It's going to be a line ball for Inagh Kilnamona. Well, no, Wayne King has in fact overturned that. It's going to be a line ball for Kilmaley. Every whole thing is going to be contested, but you know, we've mentioned two words, Fergie, so often that are so important in all strands of sport: work rate, and that was demonstrated there by the big number 12.
Big number 12, Tom Barry again, you know. Sean Kennedy coming up the field like he's normally have to do, but got back, got a hurley in, turned over the ball out for a sideline ball for Kilmaley. But we've trained throughout the game, Derek. Fantastic work ethic throughout the field, and you know, once that's happening, it makes for a spectacular game, and we have that.
Cathal Darcy again with that line ball again. Didn't catch it quite well, but it still managed to travel maybe 25 yards infield, and it's up to the forwards now to fight for this ball and for Tom O'Rourke to try and control it. John Finucane, the man that got the goal early on, picks that one up, shortens up the grip, tries to get it into the corner. Kennedy's inside, Aidan that is, up he goes, smallest man in the field, almost brought it down, but he was well marshalled by Colin Shannon down that far side of the field. The cornerback sticking manfully to his task, pops it inside to Keith White coming off his shoulder. We know this fella has class, and what a crossfield ball that is. Just too much though on it for Keane Shannon to try to get onto. Right, Keane Shannon off at Treperle, he has come onto it. Lovely play from him, but the finish just wasn't there. Good pressure coming on him from the number 4 there, Oisin Looney, on that occasion, the man from Miltown Malbay. We mentioned that young fella Keane Shannon. Good ball from him, but what a fantastic pick out it was from Keith White inside in that full back then as well. Let's stay with the play for the moment. The ball goes down the throat to Kennedy again. That's a push in the back. Maybe just a score that Kilmaley now badly need, Fergie, just to, you know, attack that scoreboard again now, and, you know, before it becomes kitchen sink time.
Yes, just about to say it, Peter, or Derek. That in fact, Peter in my head, Derek.
That's worrying, Fergie. If you've Peter O'Connell in your head on a Saturday evening in Clarecastle, I'm going to ask questions, and I think Lorraine would even ask more.
Peter the Rabbit. My kids are watching it day and night at home. No, but again, you're dead right. Look at it, you know, at this space of the game with 16 minutes gone, Kilmaley need to put a score on the board. They need to get a grip of the game now again, you know, because it's all been about, in the last maybe 10-12 minutes, all been about Inagh Kilnamona. But again, their space started to be created. Oh, chance there, just gone wide. Chance missed for Kilmaley, but Derek, their space now being created. Both teams are getting a little bit tired, so there's a little bit more space has been created. A little worrying thing, I suppose, for Inagh Kilnamona. Sean Kennedy has been left isolated inside, or Aidan Kennedy has been left isolated inside in his own, even though the ball hasn't been quality, he's been up in the air. You know, that's one thing that if he gets space inside, he could cause serious trouble. Absolutely,
we see that change being made just now for the men from Kilmaley. Number 20 is coming on, James Maguire, and coming off is Éanna McMahon, a man that got the point at the start here of the second period, so he's off, and James Maguire is the man that's on. Just a chance gone a begging there. It's a 10th wide of the afternoon for Kilmaley, coming off the stick of Sean O'Loughlin on that occasion, and it's still Inagh Kilnamona that are leading by 3, 19 points to 2-10. Looking at the clock, 17 minutes gone here in the second period. Al Hayes Skoda Motors, your commentary sponsors. Lovely crossfield ball there from Guyler, but didn't really give Conor Hagerty too much of an opportunity to get onto it, and it's going to be Tommy Barry, the joint captain, bringing it down that far side of the field, being pressured now outside there by Hagerty, forced to turn around. That's all happening quite close to the sideline, and indeed it's gone out for a line ball, and it's again Inagh Kilnamona that have come out on top of that, and you know, it's going to be a very, very tidy 12 minutes or so here in this particular game. 19 points to 2-10, 12 minutes to go, plus whatever injury time is added on. And really, you know, Fergie, when we talk about hurling, 23, 24 points will often win you a lot of games, but if Inagh Kilnamona stick on 2 or 3 more here, they could be edging towards that tally.
I think so too. You know, their scoring rate has been very, very good. Maybe Kilmaley overplaying the ball a little bit, running a little bit too much for their attack now again. Chance of a score here.
James Maguire, the substitute, to come in just a moment ago. Will he make an immediate impact? That ball heads in towards the goal, but the umpire ducks to get out of the way because the ball has gone wide. It's an 11th wide of the afternoon, a 6th of the second half, which is really symptomatic of the point that maybe Kilmaley have just had a couple of opportunities in terms of scoring past them by here this afternoon. Ball around down the throat of Tommy Barry there. Cathal Darcy comes in to pick up the break, and if Kilmaley are going to get motoring, they need this man moving. Tommy's not happy. Cathal Darcy wants to get things moving quickly, and moving quickly he does. Down in front of that aforementioned Kennedy, himself and Shannon are having a right old ding-dong battle over there. Tom O'Rourke goes in to try and pick it up. Kennedy is still trying to kick it clear, but again, It's Colin Shannon, picks it up, the cornerback drives it clear, no messing, let the forwards win their own ball, and that number 17 outside, Owen Fitzgerald, he puts the ball on the stick, flicks it across. Guyler almost came onto it, he does, flicks it up, illegally so, says the referee. Perhaps used the ankle there, I think, of one of the Kilmaley men to pick that up. It's going to be a free out, but the longer Kilmaley stay in this game, Fergie, just 3 points in it, they're not out of it by any stretch.
They're not out of it, Derek, but probably come back to haunt them. They've 11 wide, 6 in the second half, and maybe 4 of those 6 wides in the second half were scoreable. 2 from frees, 2 going across the goal from left to right. That's caused them a little bit of trouble, but they're still in the game. But they need to get the next score, Derek. They need to keep in touch, and with going on to the 20th minute with 10 minutes left, if they get the next score, we've a right 10 minutes of a game left.
Yeah, just waiting to see. I think the referee just got in there. There's attention again for one of the Inagh Kilnamona lads. I think it's Fitzgerald, is it? He was wearing that red helmet there a couple of minutes ago. Anyway, Owen Fitzgerald, as we mentioned, Crusheen Tubber awaiting the winners in the final. B champions last year, of course, Fergie. Crusheen Tubber, that North Clare amalgamation, obviously have gone from strength to strength in that. And as you well know, I'd imagine from playing the blood and bandages and the likes of Tubber down the years, you'll never get anything handy with them, no matter who's going to face them.
That's for sure, and great compliments to them that they can engage in each other, and they can make an environment where they can go out and compete at the A level, and great for both clubs. Numbers will probably be a big problem to them, but it gives a lot of their players exposure to the A level, both clubs, and that's brilliant that they can get together, they can use their heads in it and use common sense and give their players great exposure to A level, and they're in the final now. Chance here. Tom O'Rourke is the man that goes up and brings that down. Referee is going to say that it's a free in, and a conglomerate of Inagh Kilnamona players came down on top of him there just to try and bring him to ground. They had to, because O'Rourke went up among a forest to bring that ball down, headed straight for goal. I'd imagine they'll probably pop this one over maybe too soon to start thinking about panicking for green flags, but again, get back to within 2 points, 10 minutes to go, it will be game on. Yeah, I think the obvious thing would probably to pop this over the bar, bring it back to a 2-point game, and that. But probably a right decision by Inagh Kilnamona maybe to suffer taking the player down, going through. Tom O'Rourke had caught a good ball out of the air and was going straight down, despite the team that we know caused Inagh Kilnamona a little bit of trouble in the first half. But on this occasion, they had a mountain of players back and pulled him down. O'Shawn O'Loughlin here's a choice to make. Looks like his stance is going over. Derek is going to pop it over the bar. Yeah,
just to keep the scoreboard ticking over, it would appear to be the most logical choice, and he does just that. O'Loughlin with his 4th point of the afternoon, 3 of those coming from frees, and that is his 2nd of the second period. As we look at another substitution being made, number 18 is coming on. That man is Matty Davenport, and we'll just wait and see who's going to be the one to make way. He's heading in towards the goal. I think it's Keelan Guyler, in fact, that's going to come off. So Matty Davenport is in, Keelan Guyler is off. 2 points between the sides, 8 minutes to go to full time. It's Kilmaley 19 points. It's Inagh Kilnamona 19 points, I should say. Kilmaley 2 goals and 11. 19-17 is what you get when you melt all that down. Big puck out now again, looking for Tom Barry, and why wouldn't you look at that for a paw? Barry settles down, just didn't have the whip on it. It's not going to go wide just yet. They're going to have to deal with this, and it's gone out for a 65-metre free for Inagh Kilnamona. Aidan McCarthy's on his way across. Not a scoring opportunity from Tom Barry's point of view, but you have to admire forwards, Fergie, that don't give up and force that 65.
Yeah, it was a difficult ball, I suppose, and the goalkeeper thought it took the hand of Inagh Kilnamona man and was letting the ball go wide, but on occasion maybe he could have got to it and maybe put out. Now again, scoreable chance here for Aidan McCarthy with 65 metres out, and that. But again, just the quality in the air. Tom Barry, big strong unit of a man, ball coming down top of him. They've used that regularly, Inagh Kilnamona. They've isolated him on a one-on-one situation. He's very strong in the air, and he's won most of those battles, and chance now here for Aidan McCarthy to put a score on the board again.
Yeah, he's been unerring from place ball so far, has this young man. I suppose it's no harm either that he's getting his football trade back around the Kilmurray Brecon territory. Why wouldn't he, with his father being a Coorman? So just to clear that one up in case anybody's wondering about the transfer papers. Here comes McCarthy with the free. He'll make no mistake whatsoever. It's the second time that he's potted from a 65-metre free in this game. His team go back out into a 3-point lead. It's just crucial that they now just keep that scoreboard ticking over. 3-point lead, as we mentioned, 20 points to 11, 23 minutes gone here in the second period. Inagh Kilnamona looking to hang on to that title that they relinquished to Feakle Killanena 2 years ago, but they have been so dominant at this grade in the last couple of years, and they're going to hold on to it for another while yet, no doubt about that, as that shot comes in there from Maguire, the substitute for Kilmaley. He's brought it back again. Number 20, James Maguire, with a fine score from play. Just 2 points between the sides once more. 20 points Inagh Kilnamona, 2-12 Kilmaley. And Matty Dowd, it's number 9 there for Darren Cunnan as he picks that ball up from the puck out and gets that inside line moving once more. Davenport with his first chance to impress, but it's Oisin Looney that comes away with it. Gives it out the field here to Sean Crowley. Slightly topped that one, and you can hear his reaction. I can tell you it wasn't great. As we look at the play outside in the middle of the field now once more with Jason Griffin looking to angle that ball across. Hagerty's outside there. Lovely pick up from him. Tries to get the run now on Daniel Walsh outside there. Hagerty stands on the sideline, lashes this one goalward. It's coming across towards Tom Barry. Up goes the hand from Barry. It's gone out to the right, out the left hand side, and it's gone wide. You could see what they were doing, trying to get that man moving, but still we remain a 2-point game. 20 points to 2-12. 5.5 minutes of normal time to go.
Yeah, you'd be saying, Derek, if Kilmaley can get the next score, bring it back down to a 1-point game, then we'll see the nerves really settling in on both teams. Who can see it? Can Inagh Kilnamona see it out, or can Kilmaley build up the momentum and go at him? Very interesting.
Sean O'Loughlin did brilliantly there to break that ball down in front of himself. Thought about striking it, knew he was going to be hooked, but he's going to have to let it go to ground again. Does very well indeed, and he has won a free that he's no doubt going to take himself. Now comes the chance to bring it back to 1. Excellent work from Sean O'Loughlin, as you mentioned. Broke it here in the middle of the park, headed off towards that right touchline. There was obviously a flick. You could hear the clash for Hurling coming someplace, and people all around the ground weren't agreeing with that one, Fergie, but those that were certainly of a Kilmaley nature.
Yeah, that's for sure. I thought it was of a nature, soft nature, Derek, but look at Wayne King was close enough to it. Sean O'Loughlin seems to be a little bit of a limp after, and it was a vital score. It's well within his range. As we said, he's a brilliant striker of the ball. A little bit difficult angle, but if he put this over, it's back down to a 1-point game. Let's see who can see it out then.
Cuts it into the teeth of the breeze again, and this time it makes its way inside that left-hand upright. That is one of the most relaxed umpires I've ever come across at a game. He's going to be hurried by nobody. 20 points Inagh Kilnamona, 2-13 Kilmaley. It's a 1-point game with 4.5 minutes of normal time left here in Clarecastle. It's starting to darken, but we'll have plenty light to see this one out. No doubt about that. Owen Fitzgerald almost brought that one through, but standing back there was Arden Maloney trying to pick that ball up from the ruck there to his Meskel, and the ball is coming clear on the stick of Cathal Darcy. He loves those little flick ups. This time he's been taken out. It's going to be a free. Maybe they've weathered the storm. There's going to be a big kick in these Kilmaley fellas, no doubt about that. The sideline here just getting things organised. Kevin McNamara is hanging around there. So too is the likes of Brian O'Loughlin, Conor Sexton. I see Shane Hogan and Shane Slattery there as well, that making up the Kilmaley backroom team. They'll be urging their side on for what is set to be a grandstand finish here in Clarecastle. Aidan Kennedy, can he level things up? What a block down. Brilliant work outside by the cornerback Colin Shannon. It's gone out for a 65. Sean O'Loughlin will no doubt stand over it. Toss a coin, Fergie.
Yeah, as I say, Sean O'Loughlin, again, it's central really to the goal. It's very, very scoreable. This 11 up matters. Again, intelligent ball again by Sean Kennedy, the wing back, to Aidan Kennedy. Not a high dropping ball inside the square where it was packed. He played a good, fast, intelligent ball to Aidan Kennedy in the corner, and it was blocked down over for 65. I'd be putting my house on that Sean O'Loughlin to put this over. I hope I don't put the shabuckles on him, but I'd be putting my house that he'd put this ball over into drawing game.
It's a massive chance, as we mentioned, just a point between the sides as things stand. 20 points to Inagh Kilnamona, 2-13 for Kilmaley. Here comes Sean O'Loughlin with the 65. Has Fergie still got a house? He has. You can go home and turn the key, Fergie. She'll be there waiting for you. What a point under pressure from Sean O'Loughlin from that 65. Level pegging, 20 points Inagh Kilnamona, 2-14 Kilmaley, with 2.5 minutes left of normal time here in Clarecastle. Calls that ball was perhaps swept off the ground. John Finucane's there trying to pick it up. That scrum still starting to develop. Darcy goes back to try and get it up into his goal. He does. Back to Sean Crowley. Crowley blocked down at a crucial time. In it comes down to Davenport. Davenport going down along this left-hand touchline, trying to play it back across into the centre. He does. Into the middle it comes there to Jason Griffin. Griffin stands and Griffin strikes and Griffin scores. Parity didn't last too long. Jason Griffin waited until the 27th minute of the second half to get his first point. What a crucial one it could be. 21 points Inagh Kilnamona, 2-14 Kilmaley, with 2 minutes left to go. Let's stay with the play. We'll bring in Fergie in just a couple of minutes, but we wait to see what will Tom O'Rourke do. Calls that he overcarried that ball. Look at the egg and spoon race off. O'Rourke now trying to play that crossfield ball. Kennedy puts up the hand, tries to get inside the touch of Shannon. Is he going to be brought to ground? Referees allowing the play to go on. Kennedy with the shot, and Kennedy has put it to the left, and he has put it wide. I thought perhaps there might be advantage being played there. Inagh Kilnamona lead by 1. We're heading to the melting pot.
Heading into the melting pot, and the Kilmaley selectors absolutely up in all with Wayne Kennedy on that occasion. Aidan Kennedy, I thought, maybe deserved the free on that occasion. A great chance to level it up. Still time to level it.
Certainly is, and there's even more time to be added on by the referee. We'll wait and see what the board will bring up. I'd imagine somewhere around the 3 minutes won't be too much of a guess that'll go wrong. As we come watching Griffin again, he got one just a couple of minutes ago. He's got a second. What a cameo in these last couple of minutes from the number 8 for Inagh Kilnamona, Jason Griffin. Sends his side 2 points clear. 22 points for Inagh Kilnamona, 2:14 Kilmaley. 1 minute of normal time left to go. Cathal Darcy just miscontrolling that ball at the wrong time, and Tom Barry was ruthless. Didn't show him any sympathy whatsoever. Into the centre it comes to that man wearing number 3, Keith White. We've seen him playing football. We've seen him playing hurling. We've been impressed in both codes. Keith White, big ball in. Is this going to be the one that seals it? What a cracking score all the way from full back. Keith White makes it a 3-point game. In the blink of an eye, the champions go clear.
Yeah, in the blink of an eye, Derek, you're dead right. You know, 2 vital scores from Jason Griffin in the middle of the field. Probably 2 mistakes by Kilmaley defending. You know, the ball should have been gone a bit longer than they held on to it. And on that occasion, Kevin White really showing great leadership from full back, coming up and starting over a point.
Brilliant score from Keith White, it has to be said, and he's on the ball again now as he sends this one right down the paw of Owen Fitzgerald on the 65 metre line. Sean Crowley puts him under pressure. Ball goes into the centre now. It's Arden Maloney back there trying to keep his own house in order, and the ball just going to the ground once more. Maloney still trying to bring it through. Sean Crowley is fouled. That's going to be a free out for Kilmaley. We are now into injury time as we speak. The clock right now has hit that 30-minute mark. It's Inagh Kilnamona by 3. 2 minutes of additional time now. Surely this is going to be a time to lob it in around the house. 23 points Inagh Kilnamona, 2:14 Kilmaley. We've been treated to an absolute spectacle by 2 very, very skillful teams, no doubt about that. Sean Kennedy dropping it inside. Sean O'Loughlin went up to try and catch it. It didn't come in his favour. The ball goes to the ground, and the defence now, from their point of view, anywhere will do to try and get this clear, and they get it clear right out on this far side of the field. Layden getting that ball out. It's going to go out over the sideline. From here on in, it's just going to be, as Freddie Mercury sang one time, under pressure is going to describe that Inagh Kilnamona defence, no question or doubt about that. It's Padraig Devitt, or it's the number 7 for Kilmaley, I should say. Tommy Barry, the joint captain, is the man who's going to take this line ball. It just simply has to go into the danger zone. 23 points to 2:14, almost a minute of the 2 additional time played. That's a good cut right into where it should be going. Is Sean O'Loughlin going to come on to this? There looked to be a stray bit of a belt there, and well, it's going to be a little bit of a hold up here now. Perhaps the referee has a decision to make. Surely he'll blow the whistle and give a free in. In fairness, it was an honest kind of a scrum coming together. The ball was there was hurleys flying. Sean O'Loughlin has come out the worst of it, but we haven't seen a decision just at the moment yet from Wayne King. I think 2 minutes were called for. We could be looking at perhaps a little bit more. Sean looks to be in a little bit of distress down there. Hopefully he'll be back up onto his feet. But Wayne King's decision here now, I'd imagine, would be eagerly anticipated.
It will, and you know, there's no doubt about it. It should be a free in, like, even though it was accidental. But you know, there was a connection made with Sean O'Loughlin. He made no kind of action with his hands, but I think he's booking a Inagh Kilnamona player now. So look, it's going to be 21-yard free, I'd say. I don't think it was inside the 21-yard for it to be a penalty, but it's going to be 21. And there's no doubt, look, at Kilmaley have to go for the juggler here, have to go for a goal, and you know, awful interesting time. There's still no decision, a yellow card. It's going to be 21-yard free now. It's going to be interesting now to see you know, who takes this. Would it be Sean O'Loughlin? He's down injured, belt in the leg. You know, do they have a player that's a real bang strong belt of a ball? They're going to bring the goalkeeper up on some occasion, we see, because their puck outs are good and strong and that, but I think it's Sean O'Loughlin. He's thrown it in.
Yeah, well, how can you book a player and throw a ball in? That to me is a bit of a strange one, but well, that's exactly what has happened. Wayne King from St. Joseph's to Bearfield throwing the ball in there in around the 20 metre line, and well, again, the scrap is going to develop because possession now just so crucial, and Inagh Kilnamona will try and get it anywhere. Cathal Darcy is going to try and get it in around the goal. It's a free in, so surely now this is just going to be a top the ball, lob it in, stick up a hurley and see what's going to happen kind of a decision, because it's all or nothing now. 23 points Inagh Kilnamona, 2:14 for Kilmaley. That is a 3-point lead. There's a hurley being brought in. This man is quite excited to get the hurley in, there's no doubt about that. Sean O'Loughlin going to stand up on this one again. We've played those 2 minutes of injury time, but I suppose a minute and a half was certainly tied up in that last passage of play at the moment. Sean O'Loughlin, I don't know why there's any Kilmaley man still hanging around behind his own 45 metre line. I'd be flooding that square if I was them. But who am I to question the decision of these lads out there? No doubt about that. 23 points, Inagh Kilnamona, 2:14 Kilmaley. O'Loughlin with the strike! It's gone into the bottom corner! Well! You can hear the scenes beside us as that ball is poked out, level pegging. 3-14 Inagh Kilnamona, 3-14 Kilmaley, 23 points Inagh Kilnamona. Sean O'Loughlin with a strike that somehow found the bottom corner. They didn't need the cavalry up, O'Loughlin had it covered.
Yeah, Derek, you know, crowding the square wasn't the thing on that occasion to do, and he found the only gap that was available. You know, that the goalkeeper hadn't covered or a defender hadn't covered, and back in it, and I think probably richly deserved. I think it should have been 21-yard free anyway. You know, there was an Inagh Kilnamona player booked for it. Now he's still letting play go on. Interesting time is not over yet, Derek.
We will have extra time if they stay level, but we could yet have a winner in this game as well. But at the moment, it's the Inagh Kilnamona lads who have the ball in their own defence, and they're going to have to try and get it clear. And there goes the full-time whistle. We're heading to extra time. We will have extra time here in Clarecastle. It's Inagh Kilnamona 23 points. It is Kilmaley 3 goals and 14. Sean O'Loughlin's late bullet with 3 minutes of injury time played is the score that has brought us to that extra time period. And you have to say, Fergie, from I suppose maybe taking it with the last 7 or 8 minutes, probably no more than Kilmaley deserved, because when the chips were down, they kept going.
Yeah, they kept going. I think, you know, probably in the second half you know, if they lost this game, they'd have ruled out their missed chances. You know, they had 7 or 8 very, very poor wides. As I said, 5 of those were very, very scoreable. But they hung in there. You know, great character shown, and you know, probably on the basis of the things, Derek, you know, both teams had great patches of play. You might have thought that Inagh Kilnamona had weathered the first maybe 15 minutes of the first half, weathered the storm. They stayed with them. Maybe, you know, it was their day. They started picking off some good scores. Jason Griffin came up with 2 fantastic scores when it was a draw game. But you know, overall, I think a draw is probably a fair result. Now both teams have to resettle again. Both teams have to find a little bit of energy. I actually said it at half time. Probably the fittest team, a team with the more energy in the second half is going to win that game. And both teams saw out the game very, very well. Both teams have great patches of play. It's going to be very, very interesting now to see. Again, we go back down to the physicalities and the injuries and the tiredness, and let's see which team now has the most work done pre-season that will get them through this.
I've always interested in this, and particularly from a managerial point of view, like when you go to extra time, who carries the momentum in? Is it the team that levelled it to bring it there, or is it the team that conceded the late score that get tick and say, you know, let's make up for this?
There's no doubt about it, Derek. It's the team that gets the last score to draw the game. Occasion, what a score. They normally bring the momentum in, but you meet a team, you know, there's defiance in a team as well that you know are in control of the game that we should have seen out maybe, you know, but look at if we're talking about momentum, and it plays a big part in all sports games, especially all field sports games. Look, Kilmaley have it now. You know, were they the better team in the second half? Were they a better team overall? Probably not. On balance, probably, you know, just that little bit fell that little bit short over the 60 minutes. But they've earned their draw. They have to get in the last score. Their ganders are up. Now it's how both managements now are going to get the confidence back up, get their shape back up, because it got very loose in the last maybe 7 or 8 minutes of that half. Now was that tiredness? Maybe a little bit of that, but it got very loose. We saw Jason Griffin on his own on 2 occasions when the sign of a Kilmaley player near him picked off 2 scores. So look, it's about the team now and the management that can get their shape right again, trying to find the little holes that will hurt the other team, and again, who's the fittest team to see this out.
Yeah, we'll just we will stay live. We'll keep the stream going. Might kill the microphone just to give Fergie a break there. He's looking for his cup of coffee and his limp sip and all them kind of things. You want you want to see the demands this fella had. We're going to have a cracking extra time period, as I mentioned. 2 10-minute blocks coming up. Nothing separating Inagh Kilnamona and Kilmaley. 23 points Inagh Kilnamona, 3-14 Kilmaley. Leave your stream running. We're just going to kill the audio for a couple of minutes time. Your stream will stay live though. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
I can tell you it's more than mine. Thank you. Are good? Hey, that ladder better come up soon enough.
Now you're welcome back to Clare Castle. It's extra time here in the Clare Under-21 Hurling Championship semi-final. A dramatic goal from a free in the 3rd minute of injury time from Sean O'Loughlin has seen the sides deadlocked after an enthralling fixture. 23 points Inagh Kilnamona, 3-14 for Kilmaley. We'll have 10 minutes per half here. We'll stick with it as well. There's just a very quick turnaround in between the halves, so keep your stream going. We'll bring you right to the end, and well, maybe we could have extra time even again after that, or perhaps that dreaded penalty shootout. The finals on next weekend. We have to get a winner somehow. Fergie, you've been doing your research. This isn't new for this group of players. Take us back into the history books.
No, I'm told by a good friend of mine, Skinny, there, that at under 15 level, this age group, these both teams drew in a classic in Clare Abbey, so it's nothing new to them. They would have been coming in knowing that probably going to be puck of the ball in it, so very interesting times now. Let's see which team are really going to grasp the nettle and go at it.
They've only got 20 minutes to do that. As we said, 10 per half. What the extra time period will be. Aidan Kennedy and Colin Shannon have had a right old battle throughout this game, and they're continuing now as well. Kennedy does well, gets it back here now to the middle of the park. John Finucane settles down off the Kithogue, has it tailed in. We ain't got Hawkeye, and I said that for a reason, because I felt that was inside the right hand upright, and now up goes the flag. Sometimes it's worth the sideline protesting as they did. It's a point for John Finucane. He'll be pleased with that. Kilmaley go in front.
Yeah, no doubt about that score. We were right in the eye-line view of it, and so was Wayne Kennedy. In fairness to him, he got his body right, and that was a great score. Good start by Kilmaley.
So they go 1 point clear. Inagh Kilnamona going to respond. Big catch there from David Meskel. Tries to free up the space over his right shoulder, swinging that one across. Hagerty almost got on the end of it. Every wide, every decision now is being treated like it's a score. The margins are going to be that tight. 3-15 Kilmaley, 23 points for Inagh Kilnamona. It's an absolute cracker in Clarecastle, no question or doubt about that. Ball is inside in the hands of the Kilmaley goalkeeper Ronan Cannon, poking it right down the throat of Cathal Darcy. Goes up with the one-handed swing. Sometimes that don't work out so great, but this time it does. As we look at the number 20, James Maguire, a point for him in that second half. Breaking it out here now to Darcy again. A goal for him in that first period. He's got a great engine, does Darcy. Still going through, dragged down to the ground. That's going to be a free in. Was it inside? Referee is a judge. I don't think it was. It'll be a 21 metre free. A chance for Kilmaley to pop it over. You'd put your house again, Fergie. Your house is going under some amount of gambling here at the moment, but Sean O'Loughlin, I'd imagine, will keep you the keys as well, because this should be relatively simple.
Yeah, this will be a relatively easy tap over Sean O'Loughlin. But Kilmaley, I suppose, on the sideline, they'll be looking at the few glimpses that they've seen of Darcy. We saw him against the Bridge, and he was a thorn throughout the 60 minutes. We've only been seeing small pieces of him in this game, Derek, where he's been coming and going, and when he does get on the ball, he's causing serious trouble to Inagh Kilnamona, run down the spine of a team, and again on that occasion caused them serious trouble. Okay, and good score for Kilmaley again.
So Sean Ronan, we're told, is going to be the number 31 for Kilmaley. He's going to come in very shortly indeed, and a big thanks to the Kilmaley mentors there for coming over and giving us that piece of information. Sean O'Loughlin sending his side 2 points clear. 2 minutes gone here in the second period, or the first period I should say, of extra time. But again, another free taker, and a man that hasn't missed, I don't think, so far. Aidan McCarthy with a chance now out on that far side, just beyond the 65. He's nearly exactly between a 65 and 45 metre line. Left hand side of the pitch. He'll have to cut this one in with the breeze, aim towards that left hand post, and it should tail it across. But who's the likes of me to tell Ed McCarthy how to stand over a free? Bending down, this inter-county star, he's going to be wearing the saffron and blue for a good number of years to come. Strikes this one towards the goal, and after all that talk, it goes to the right and it goes wide. So he's human after all. Aidan McCarthy puts it wide. In the context of the game, Fergie, that's a big moment.
It's a big moment, with only 10 minutes both halves, unless a really, really big score of a goal comes, Derek, each point is going to be well contested, and you get an opportunity, you must take it. And on that occasion, we've seen playing down into the clubhouse side goal. Scores are hard to come by if you don't get that breeze right.
Perhaps just a little over exuberance there, shall we say, from Cathal Darcy, just going through the back of Owen Fitzgerald. And the free was taken quickly, but it's been turned over for Kilmaley. Good sharp work, you have to say, there from Tom O'Rourke. Still going through, caught on the wrist, it looked like. Referee has given the free in. Sean O'Loughlin will have a chance to put 3 between them, and no more than Griffin and Keith White towards the death of the injury time period, putting Inagh Kilnamona 3 points clear. Here now could potentially be, Fergie, a 4 or 5 minute 6 point swing.
Yeah, that's for sure. And and again, in relevance of Sean O'Loughlin, this again is very, very scoreable for him. But again, whether it's tiredness, Derek on that occasion, Inagh Kilnamona, that ball should have gone maybe 30, 40 yards. Maybe it was a scoreable maybe for Aidan McCarthy to come out and have a pot of it just back inside his own 45. But Sean O'Loughlin making no doubt about that one. But again, that probably comes with the territory of, the players being very tired at this stage. But that's when the real calmness has to come in. And, a fantastic start by Kilmaley, and the momentum has been with him in the start of this first period of 10 minutes.
3 points for them so far in the extra time period. 1 from John Finucane and 2 frees from the man wearing the number 11 jersey, Sean O'Loughlin. 3:17 to add those 23 points. That is how it stands at the moment. Kilmaley are ahead by 3. We're just exactly midway through the first period of extra time. Inagh Kilnamona now looking to respond. Long ball in. A big danger on here. Keane Shannon is trying to come onto this one. Darcy's back trying to defend. Shannon still there trying to get it away. In there too is David Meskel. Barry, they're all inside trying to pick it up. Still Shannon wearing that number 10 jersey with the red helmet over on that far side of the pitch. Ball just won't come up from the ground for him. He's on his hands and knees trying to pick this one up. Barry is over there, so too is Davenport, and some coming away with a great play, you have to say, there from Tommy Barry, the number 7 for Kilmaley. Picks that one up, drives it clear. It makes no odds that it only went about 6 yards and out over the sideline, because it just cleared the danger. Any sniffing at all, they cleared it out, and Tommy Barry now is going to line up to take this line ball. It's over on the far side, as you can see, 45 metres out from goal. The big man with the yellow helmet, they're pushing forward, there's no doubt about that, and Inagh Kilnamona smelling perhaps a chance. They haven't scored in quite some time, as Barry comes to take this line ball in towards the goal. It goes to the left and it goes wide. We spoke so often, Fergie, about wides being energy sapping, and I mean, that's just another example of one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's for sure, Derek. And I often talk about sideline balls like that, where they're grand when they go over the bar, but I'd be saying the percentage of times you keep them in play, you put them into the danger areas. It doesn't have to be 80 yards or 40 yards all the time. 10 or 15 yards to a player in a better position probably is the better option.
Yeah, even some of the strikes now are starting to get just a little bit tired. That Hurley is somehow becoming a little bit heavier as we enter close to almost 70 minutes of action, when you take into account injury time and all the rest of it as well. But you wouldn't think it just at the moment, as we see that ball just trying to be picked up. John Finucane trying to kick it clear. Good work outside there. James Maguire, he's been fouled. A frontal challenge, I think, is what the referee is adjudged there from Conor Hegarty. It'll be another free for Sean O'Loughlin, and every single decision now is just so crucial. I see Bradley Higgins going down there asking for water. It's coming on for him quite quickly too as well. O'Loughlin with a chance. I think the referee maybe just going to have a cross to have a little word here with the sideline official as well. Looked a little bit frontal, a little bit late, and to be honest, a tired kind of a tackle as well, it has to be said too, from young Hegarty. But now it's going to be a chance for Sean O'Loughlin. His side currently 3 points clear, 3:17 to 23 points, with 7 minutes of the 10 of this first period of extra time played here in Clarecastle. Let's watch O'Loughlin as he goes through that routine, picks it up, slaps it towards the goal. It never moved from the minute it left his Hurley. It was only going in one direction, as Marty Morrissey's throwing to say over the crossbar and between the posts. That must mean it's a score. Kilmaley go 4 clear. They've been impressive in this period.
Yeah, they've got off to a great start, Derek, in this first period of extra time. And the free taking both from Aidan McCarthy and Sean O'Loughlin has been second to none today. But cuteness from James Maguire there on that occasion, invited the free on to himself, and great atmosphere where Sean O'Loughlin popped over the bar.
Kennedy sends that ball in. It's the one a goalkeeper hates when it just zips in front of him, but Eamon Foodie did very well indeed to control that ball, and not just control it but get it away from the danger zone as well. But Kilmaley are not for turning, and Tom O'Rourke in particular, but that was a lovely stick put up there from Owen Layden, and it allows Darren Conlon to clear that ball down right here to the right hand corner. Meskel, perhaps a hand on the back there. Referee let plays go. Maloney and Meskel having a right all ding dong battle down there. Matthew Davenport now trying to pick it up with those long sleeves, those long black sleeves. Davenport down towards the in line. Comes Maloney, comes to interview him, he passes him by. Davenport plays it outside. Meskel almost came onto it. It's going to be another chance now coming through. Conlon, was he brought to ground? Referee says goes away. Shot from Meskel, and that one has gone, and it's gone to the right, and it's gone for a 65, I think is what the referee is indicating at the moment. All a bit hear him, scare him down there. A big shot coming in from Meskel. Desperate defending from the Kilmaley lads. Looks as if one or two has taken a little bit of a belt to the face there, I think. Referee just going in to have a quick check. Umpire has the hand out. It's going to be a 65, but just another indication there, Fergie, when these forwards, particularly like the Meskel, get going, they can create the danger. But very brave defending from Kilmaley. Yeah,
very brave defending, and it had to be, Derek. Again, great pace, cut inside and came across and played the intelligent ball across, and a bit of hesitation by the umpire there. Again, we didn't know whether it was a 65 or whether it was a wide ball, or but eventually a 65. Another vital score now here for Inagh Kilnamona. Aidan McCarthy going to take this 65. You know, he needs to bring it back to a one-score game. It has been all Kilmaley in the first period of extra time, and you know, Inagh Kilnamona really needs to get a grip of things. But we've seen in this game throughout, you know, we've seen, you know, periods of dominance from both sides and other teams coming back into it. But a vital 65 now for Aidan McCarthy that he gets this score, because Inagh Kilnamona haven't scored in quite a while.
A couple of changes being made as well by the Inagh Kilnamona lads. Unfortunately, it's an end to the game for Owen Fitzgerald, but he's been replaced by Keelan Guyler, who's come back into the action as well. And looking out there, I think that's the number 9, Darren Cunlin, that's just down, receiving a bit of attention at the moment. And we just saw number 7 coming back in there too, Patrick Devitt. So we'll keep you posted on who's making way, but all eyes at the moment on Aidan McCarthy outside there. His side trailing, as we mentioned, by those 4 points, 3:18 to 23 points. We've 15 seconds of the normal time of the first period of extra time to come. Judging by those injuries in the last couple of minutes, we'll have a few more to go on to that as well. A 4-point lead for Kilmaley. We've often seen, Fergie, you know, particularly in extra time, I suppose, goals are such big scores, and the longer this goes on, maybe Inagh will start to look for one.
Yeah, I think so. You know, we talk about big scores in games, and especially in extra time when the period is so short, that 10-minute period, that a goal is a massive score. But on this occasion, I'd be thinking McCarthy will pop this over the bar, and you know, they'll really need to get together for that small period they're going to have, maybe that minute or so before Wayne Kennedy turns around, and they're really there to get to grips, because all the momentum, all the energy has been with Kilmaley in the first period.
Darren Cunlin is the man who makes way. That's an injury-enforced change as well. Patrick Devitt, as we mentioned, coming back in. McCarthy with the 65. That one looks to have gone between the posts. It certainly has. It's their first score in quite some time. It's certainly their first score of this extra time period, and it brings it back to a 3-point game. 3:18 to 24 points is how it stands. We're going to have to start getting the calculators out, I think, very soon indeed. But another change going on there for Kilmaley. Tommy Barry coming back on to play. It's nearly impossible to keep up with rolling substitutions, I think, now at this stage. But the most important thing is that Sean Kennedy has the ball in his hand, pops a little hand pass outside. A big shot coming in there from Éanna McMahon. He was returning for the extra time period, but that one goes to the right and it goes wide. Kilmaley with 12 wide so far in this game, 9 for Inagh Kilnamona, but crucially it's Kilmaley holding that advantage by 3 points, 3:18 to those 24 points. It is played right down into this left hand corner again. Aidan Kennedy coming onto this one, trying to kick it back around. Coming there too is Conor Hegarty. Hegarty picks it up. We have blown the half time whistle. 11 and a half minutes was played in that first period. Kilmaley stick their noses out in front, Fergie, and deservedly so.
Yeah, deservedly so. It's been all about Kilmaley in the first 10 minutes of that period of extra time. You know, Inagh Kilnamona really needs to get their hands on now and get a little bit of energy back in their play. A lot of their play has been mistakes ridden, really, you know, where Kilmaley have been very clinical. They've been doing the simple things right, and you know, they look like the team to be just that little bit fitter at the moment in time. But again, you know, one score in this game could swing it again, and momentum could fall back in the Inagh Kilnamona's way. But at the moment it's all about Kilmaley to see out the first few minutes of this second period of extra time, maybe add on a score or two, and then it'll be really testing for Inagh Kilnamona. It might have to go for that important goal we talk about, and we all know, Derek, that the harder you go for them at times, the more difficult they become, and the more pressure comes on you. They're often hard to come by. So look at the moment, it's Kilmaley's ones to lose, but you know, we've seen this game swinging in modes and swings, and again we'll wait and see what Inagh Kilnamona can bring to the second half of this period.
As I heard someone to say one time, there's more swings and roundabouts in this game than a trip to the playground in Innis. So I think that kind of sums up the two of them. But all that being said, like, there's still just those 3 points between them, and as the clock hit 63 and a half minutes, there was 3 points between them just on the other side of it. So I mean, there's nobody saying that at half time here in extra time that Inagh Kilnamona are done and dusted. No,
and that's for sure. As I said, you know, if you have to go back on the game over the 60 minutes of normal time, again the way teams dominated for periods of maybe 5 to 10 minutes and totally dominated, maybe got 3 or 4 fantastic scores, but the other team just fell asleep. You know, that can happen in games. But again, I go back to, you know, we spoke about it before they came out for the first period of extra time. It's the team now that's going to be more composed. It's the team that's going to be physically and mentally in a better position than the opposing team, and you know, the mistakes are going to come to you. You know, you avoid them if you can. You know, we saw 1 or 2 bad mistakes by Inagh Kilnamona that allowed Kilmaley get those vital scores. Again, for the next 10 minutes, it's avoiding those small simple mistakes, doing the basic right, and seeking, if Inagh Kilnamona get the first score or two, we could see a very different game in this again. We could be going to the second period of extra time, which is quite possible because, the game, as I said, it's been a real good spectacle, Derek. Let's give compliments to both teams. The skill level has been absolutely brilliant. I think the scoreline tells itself, that we've really, really entertained at this level. And it has been played in a massive, massive spirit. And we must give credit to Wayne King, to the referee. Okay, it has been questioned a few times about a certain amount of frees. That's going to happen. But he's let the game flow. He's let the game take a life of its own. And that's what we want to see as spectators, as commentators, as coaches. We want to see the game of hurling played. We want to see ridden with frees and stop-start situations. And he's allowed the game to develop into that, and it has allowed us to see a very, very good spectacle today.
Is that you with your former referee's hat on, Fergie?
I'd say a little bit of it, yeah, a little bit of it. But at times it can go back to bite you too. That you're trying to let the game flow, and teams get a little bit frustrated because they're not getting the frees that they think they deserve and that. But as a spectator's point of view, and as most players are playing it anyway, Derek, they like the game. They like the game to be going, and rather than stopping and starting. And again, look, at Clarecastle allows it this time of the year. The pitch is in fantastic condition. I haven't seen a scraw rush yet out of the ground. The ball is allowed to move nice and fast and quick, because we are seeing. And we have seen on view here, we've seen awful skillful hurlers, and we've seen some fantastic scores, and that's compliments, I suppose, to the pitch being in the condition it's in.
Yeah, that's the advert, and the thanks to Clarecastle out of the way, I think, now at the moment as well. And obviously we had the likes of Pat China Barry and all them lads looking after us here as well today, so thanks to them for their cooperation in helping out with this broadcast. It's Kilmaley leading at half time in extra time, 3-18 to 24 points. There are points in extra time for Kilmaley coming from 3 frees by Sean O'Loughlin, and a cracker of a point that maybe could have done with Hawkeye but didn't need it in the finish from John Finucane as well. And from a Inagh Kilnamona perspective, just 1 point for them. It came from the stick of their captain Aidan McCarthy, and it came from a 65 after a fantastic run inside by David Meskel. Was almost rewarded. Matty Davenport it was that made the break inside, popped it across to Meskel. His shot went out for a 65. McCarthy potted it over. It's a 3-point game. Who will be joining Christine Tubber in next week's Clare under 21A hurling final? We're hopefully going to find out the answer to that question in the next 10 minutes or so. We will have another period of extra time, we're told, if this game finishes in a draw, and I think going by Congress, well, then we'll be looking at a case of perhaps penalties, but that now could be very, very interesting to see how things will come. We'll have a chat, I think, as well with one of the secretaries. Maybe they'll be well informed of that. I'd imagine the likes of Paul Gannon down there for Inagh Kilnamona will be a man that will keep us posted on that. For the moment though, Kilmaley holding that 3-point advantage. Wayne King gets this second period of extra time back underway. The champions on the ropes, but no doubt they're going to come out swinging, and they're trying to get the going straight away here outside in the middle of the park, trying to get that ball up. Good work outside there by the midfielder. 2 points for him in this game. Jason Griffin up to Matty Davenport. Good stick control from him. He needs to get it up into the paw, and he gets it up onto the stick first. Now it tries to go to the paw, but good work outside from Kennedy. Gets it back now to Cian Shannon. Tries to turn and sell the dummy. Oh, that's a brilliant hook outside. Wonderful work, and now Maguire takes off with that yellow top helmet. Shannon goes after him and robs him in possession. It's Owen Layton has it now. Flicks it tennis style forward. Just stood up, waited for the ball to come. You can't do that at this level, and it's been found out as Griffin now kicks it forward, trying to come onto it. There is the man wearing number 19, Liam Hare. Hare is another one of those that has entered the fray here in this extra time period. The ball is very close to the sideline there at the moment. Fergie's gone into the elevated position. We don't need him though, as the ball is played right down the throat outside here of the number 6 for Inagh Kilnamona, Cian McInerney. He's been really solid throughout, trying to break through the heart of the Kilmaley defence now, as suddenly starts to part in front of him, but that's great tracking back outside there by Sean Ronan, wearing the number 31 jersey for Kilmaley. Ball flick forward now. Conor Hagerty, light starting to fade, but the intensity is anything but dropping. It's going out to the far side of the field there. Kilmaley centre back Bradley Higgins trying to go down on this. Aidan McCarthy nonetheless is over, trying to take that ball off him. They're pleading that there was a foul picked on that point of view, and I think it was Kilmaley lads perhaps that were calling for that. They've been rewarded. It's going to be a free out. All that has taken a minute and a half to transpire. Kilmaley still leading 3-18 to 24 points, coming up on a minute and a half played of the extra time period. It's going to be a free out for Kilmaley, and at this stage of a game, Fergie, every decision like that is almost as good as a goal.
Yeah, and they're all going to be contested, as you said, but 4 turnovers in the first 1 minute and 30 seconds at the start of this second period of extra time, which is phenomenal. We spoke about energy, we spoke about fitness levels, and that none of that has been shown in the first minute or so of this second period of extra time.
Kilmaley trying to build on that lead just at the moment, but again blocked down there outside was Padraig Devitt, and well, losing the ball in a very, very crucial part of the field. Trying to pick it up there outside now again is Owen Layden, but again picked up by Cian McInerney, driving this one forward now. It's a foot race going on, and winning it is Cian Shannon, the little speedster now picks this one up and drives forward. Darcy's going out to try and meet him, turns inside, there's John Finucane looking for him, but instead McInerney just pots that across to David Meskel, puts down the head, big powerful run from the number 14, plays it across. Chance here, Keelan Guyler just couldn't control it at the first time of asking. Ball goes back to the ground. He's being wrapped up outside by the Kilmaley defence. Was he pulled back? Referee says yes. The chance was there. It was a half chance at best perhaps. Devitt could have kept going, tried to find Guyler, wouldn't come up, did well to work the free. McCarthy will have a chance. It'll be back to 2, but the goal was on.
The goal was on, great chance for Keelan Guyler. Probably the first touch let him down a little bit. Ball just ran a little bit away with him. But I was just going to mention, Derek, the first score of this period is going to be vitally important. Whoever gets it now, it looks like Aidan McCarthy is in a very, very scoreable position, back to 2 again. But Derek, it's phenomenal. The turnovers of play, the energy of tracking back. We saw John Finucane coming from a very deep position, coming back into his own half back line. He's still trying to track his way back to centre forward here at the moment. But his been in trialling is very entertaining.
Here comes McCarthy. He can cut it back to a 2-point game if he pots this one, and he does just that. 25 points now for Inagh Kilnamona, 3 goals and 18 for the men from Kilmaley. It's a 2-point lead as we look at the clock. 3.5 minutes of the second period of extra time played. Adel Hayes, Skoda Motors, your commentary sponsors here this afternoon. Ronan Cannon has the ball inside in the Kilmaley goal. It's going to drop right down here in front of us. There's going to be a whole clitter of players underneath it. John Finucane is the man that breaks it down, but it has to be picked up and tidied up, and it's done very well indeed by McInerney. Turns and sweeps it over the right shoulder, over towards the man they call T-Bomb, Tom Barry. He gets inside Maloney on this occasion and picks it up and drives forward. Suddenly he's got the space, suddenly he's got the energy to keep going, has to strike it off the right. The referee saw that there was a foul committed. There was when he picked it up, to be fair, but Tom Barry, again, Fergie, as you mentioned, to have that much energy left in the tank. This isn't a game that went to extra time after something that would have bored you to sleep. This was a game that was played at the highest of intensity, and to find that extra reserve, brilliant, you have to say, from Barry.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And he won a ball nearly 60 yards out there. He took it into 21, and on the 45 he got fouled, and when King played a good advantage again, gave him every opportunity to score it. And Aidan McCarthy knows the chance to bring it back to a 1-point game, like we've seen in the first period. It was all about Kilmaley, and with 4 minutes gone now, it's been all about Inagh Kilnamona this first period. So there's nothing between this team, and McCarthy's going to bring this back to a 1-point game. Yeah,
he certainly is. McCarthy will mark it down before he even strikes it, because you'll be that confident of him doing it. 26 points Inagh Kilnamona, 3-14 Kilmaley, 27-26 when you boil it all down. We're midway through the second period of extra time here. Don't go anywhere. There's floodlights around somewhere. We might need them. If everybody could just shine their phones onto the field, maybe that'll keep us going if it goes any further than this. What a game we've had here in Kilmaley, or in Clarecastle I should say, no question or doubt about that. Wait for the puck out now to come from Ronan Cannon. Possession was never so crucial. He switches wings this time, goes down the far side looking for Cathal Darcy. Up goes Cian Shannon to try and break it down. O'Loughlin was there too. It was swept forward by Conor Hagerty in the finish, and that's going to be a line ball for Kilmaley, who at this point, Fergie, if you're the Kilmaley management, do you tell them take the sting out of the game? Do you tell them up the intensity? How would you manage these last couple of minutes?
Yeah, well, look at the first 5 minutes of this period has been all about Inagh Kilnamona. They've got the first 2 scores obviously and brought themselves right back into the game again, but it's about trying to get the next score now again, putting Inagh Kilnamona in the back foot, because it is a small period of time, and you build up a little momentum in that period of time, you nearly are going to hold on to it. So Kilmaley have to try and get something back now, try and get the next score. If this goes level again, it can swing anyway then after that, and the momentum will be with Inagh Kilnamona then.
Tommy Barry with a fantastic line ball, cutting it right into the teeth of the danger zone. But again, that Inagh Kilnamona defence are standing firm, sweeping it clear, scooping it clear. But Tom O'Rourke read that like a book and now sweeps it back with that diagonal ball that we've seen so often. Cian Shannon, though, has seen that play before, and the referee perhaps missed a little bit of a pick off the ground there on that occasion. Cian Shannon drives it forward into the direction of Tom Barry. Up he goes to break it down, but the Kilmaley defence standing firm. Good long diagonal ball there from Sean Kennedy into Sean O'Loughlin, being wrapped up outside there by the number 19 Liam Hare. Still in possession of the ball, gets it away down to Finucane. He'll try and make the space to wind up a big one, swings it back down. There was a little bit of an afterthought here perhaps on one of the Kilmaley players. It's the number 8, or the Inagh Kilnamona players, as to say, Jason Griffin. They're not quite happy about that. Finucane was winding up for a big one. He was going to be broken down, and just a little bit of attention coming in now. It'll just allow things to maybe Take a deep breath. That includes us here, I guess, and from a commentary perspective as well. It's been pretty hectic. Hear 'em, scare 'em, as we said. 3:18 to 26 points. 7 minutes of the second period of extra time played. We were expecting a classic. We've got that and some. Hopefully we can see Jason Griffin get back up onto his feet as well. He's a good young fella, this lad. 2 brilliant points in the game was in the melting pot at the end of normal time as well. He is back up onto his feet. A warrior, this lad, no doubt about that. Takes the hurley back. Now we're ready to resume play once more. Wayne King, I think, is going to throw the ball in. I'm not quite sure if John on the camera up there is even going to be safe from the hurley swinging on this one. We might have to duck because it's going to be, no doubt about it, it's going to be well fought. Wayne King, I think, though, is he talking about a free? Yeah, he's indirect free is how it's going to be restarted. So Sean Kennedy is the man that's going to come across to take it. And just, I'd say, I'd be as well pleased now just to lob it in and see can an old stray hurley gets it inside there. Kennedy just bending down. Referee is being told that perhaps there was something untoward there, but the ball has gone into the hands of John Finucane again, just going down to the ground. Finucane trying to get inside the cover. He does. In along the inline he goes, gets it back across. Shot coming in here. Over the bar it goes. That man was wearing number 20. That man is James Maguire. It's his second point of the game, his first in this injury time period. Kilmaley go 2 points clear with 2 minutes of the normal time in extra time left to play. Cathal Darcy now just trying to turn the tide. 2 Inagh Kilnamona in around him. One of them is Matty Davenport. Got half a ball away there. Is it going to go out over the sideline? Linesman says no. Referee allowing the play to continue. And you can hear that reaction from the Kilmaley subs here beside us. The referee had judged the ball had been overcarried. We talk about momentum in a game, Fergie. A point like that, a decision like that, it's starting to maybe look like it's Kilmaley's name on that winner's handle.
Yeah, it does. You know, we talked about the score. You know, the next score, if it goes Kilmaley's way, that they'll bring back momentum again, and they got that score. You know, they were going for a goal, and it was great defending by Cian McInerney. Came off his body, went over the bar, and again Darcy turned over a ball here, and after getting a free out of this for overcarrying. So you know, Kilmaley seem to have all the momentum now.
Sean Kennedy putting that free right down the throat there of John Finucane, but it's broken clear. Inagh Kilnamona is just still trying to get it up into the hand again. Finucane still there. All this happening very close to the sideline. Big ball coming in. What a score that is! Straight over the bar it goes. It was Sean O'Loughlin was the man that finished it. What a score from the number 11 as he limps back into position, standing out on the sideline. He must have been outside in the training field here in Clarecastle when he struck that one over the bar. 3:20 for Kilmaley, 26 points for Inagh Kilnamona. It's a 3-point lead now for the Kilmaley men once more. What a fabulous score, Fergie, when you need it most.
Oh God, you talk about leaders, you talk about standing up and being counted when it matters most. That was some score by O'Loughlin. Fantastic score.
And he's the man, of course, that brought us to extra time with that free at the end of normal time as well. But it's going to be a free in now for Inagh Kilnamona. It's no doubt going to be dropped in around the house. Aidan McCarthy is the man that's taking it. What a fabulous view we have here in Clarecastle at the moment. 2 minutes of additional time to be played at the end of extra time. 3:20 Kilmaley, 26 points for Inagh Kilnamona. A 3-point lead, nothing now, but that green flag will do. Let's see if we can get a little bit of elevation on this one as we look inside. Every single sub is coming up, Fergie. I don't like heights, so don't lift me up too much. Aidan McCarthy now just beyond his own 65 metre line. This one is going to go in around the house. The crossbar, no doubt, will be the target. Just lobbing it deftly in. Tom Barry's hand goes up. It's broken down. Keane Shannon's trying to come onto it. So too is Darcy. Still there to be won. It's a little bit of a scrum developing. And it's picked off the ground. And it's going to be a free out for Kilmaley. That's as good as a score. Thankfully, I can come back down to solid ground. Good defending from Kilmaley. Just, when there's a clitter of players like that, you'd often put down the paw referee, hoping, Fergie, that the referee wouldn't see it, but Wayne King was alert.
Yeah, he was alert to that, and now it's about Kilmaley winning possession. Get this ball cleared 80 or 90 yards up the field, holding on to possession. There is exactly 1 minute left. It's about keeping it up on the Kilmaley's half back line, full back line, and making sure there's no danger down the far side. It's in Kilmaley's hands now, but there could be one less twist in this game if Inagh Kilnamona happen to win this free.
Arden Maloney is the man that's taking the free from the edge of his own square, dropping it down this near side of the pitch. Up goes the hand there from the number 7, Padraig Devitt, but going off with it now is Sean Ronan. He's taken down. That's going to be a free in for the men from Kilmaley, and surely this is the one that will seal it. That insurance point that'll make it a 2-score game with time almost up. You hate to tempt fate, Fergie, but you have to say now, 20 seconds of this additional time left to play. A free in for Kilmaley. Sean O'Loughlin standing over it. They'll go 4 points clear. Shin, I'd imagine.
Yeah, ball bust if Sean O'Loughlin scores this, and he's been limping there for the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes since he got that last fantastic score from out near the sideline. But he just settles down on this this now, gets his breath filled up to the lungs, and he pops this over the bar, and it's game over for Inagh Kilnamona. So it's a very vital free, because I'm sure that Wayne Kennedy probably, if this goes wide, will give Inagh Kilnamona one less chance.
Here comes Sean O'Loughlin, unerring so far from him. He slots that straight over the bar. He's had 5 in this extra time period, and as we mentioned, he's the reason that we're here in the first place. Puck out is very well won indeed. Maybe a chance for Meskel to cut one back. He does. David Meskel does very well indeed. We're back to 3 points. Will Wayne King, I should say, now allow that extra time perhaps to play out? Let's just wait and see. 3:21 Kilmaley, 27 points for Inagh Kilnamona. Puck out to come. I'd say Canlan is in no rush with it whatsoever. It's dropping down. It's there to be won. It has to be picked up from an Inagh Kilnamona perspective. It has to be just defended from a Kilmaley point of view. Wayne King surely has the whistle in his mouth. The St. Joseph's Tour Bearfield clubman is being urged to blow it. I'd say any stray breath at all. There goes the full-time whistle. Kilmaley will play Crusheen Tubber in the 2019 Clare Under-21A hurling final. They've come through an absolute ding-dong cracker. 3:21 Kilmaley, 27 points for Inagh Kilnamona. If you paid the $5 into Clarecastle here this afternoon, Fergie, you've got some value for money.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic game, Derek, and compliments have to go to both sides. I think they left everything on the field, the energy, the work ethic, the work rate, the skill levels, the scoring. Everything you'd like about the game was advertised today, and compliments must go to both sides. And you see it throughout the field when the final whistle went from both sides. Both Kilmaley lads hitting the ground, dropping to the ground, both in disappointment and exhaustion. And great advertisement for hurling this time of the year. Fantastic, leaving everything on the field. As I said, some fantastic scores, individual performances, team performances, and I think even on the sideline we see great energy and great buzz with managers and selectors, and they're enthralled and engrossed in it, and it's great to see. And bring more of this, and this live streaming is second to none. I'm sure those that didn't make it today have seen a fantastic game. Excellent advertisement.
Absolutely, and of course, just to let you know what's happening next weekend, we have the A and the B final. We know the pairings, we just need to find out the details. We'll have Broadford versus Newmarket, and we now know we'll have Kilmaley versus Crusheen Tubber. Generally it's a Cusack Park double header. We'll have to wait for the CCC to fix that on Monday evening, and we'll bring you details as soon as we have it. But if they are in the park and it's a double header, we'll certainly have them. We'll have the A final for sure and certain, and hopefully the B to go along with it. What an afternoon's hurling that will be. That's where you have today from Clarecastle. Thanks to Fergie here on analysis, as well as to Raf and to John as well, and the camera and all the technical doohickeys that go with it as well. The lads have been working flat out here this afternoon. And a final thanks as well to Al Hayes Skoda Motors, our commentary sponsors. We thank them for their support. Full time here in Clarecastle, it's Kilmaley 3 goals and 21. It's Inagh Kilnamona 27 points. We'll talk to you later.